Who knows?
Jeff is an ageless
He's
being.
technically.
I have
He
2
has
birthdays.
seen all of time.
I mean, I've definitely been in this state of consciousness before where I thought that was true, and maybe it is. Who knows?
You are as old as time.
I am God.
But what I wanted to talk about, I was saving it for the cast, is so this whole jam situation. So I think I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit, but I'll try to find the thread.
Okay.
I think it would be cool if maybe throughout the week, if we get 1-2 riffs that are simple and open-ended, and solid, like verse chorus type thing.
Yeah.
Then we just like learn those 2 chord structures beforehand. Then we go into the jam. Then we just feel it out. We jam on the first riff, and then, you know, once we are all feeling it, I'll fucking look at all of you, and then fucking let's change to the next riff.
Yeah.
And then maybe that way we don't keep hammering the same, going into the same...
Stay in the same zone.
loop of shit. Because I feel like as cool as that idea is that we just did, that will hopefully be the intro
I'll put it in there.
to this cast. It's
I'll
cool.
have an intro.
And it's very similar to the one from last week, too.
Yeah.
It's cool. Don't get me wrong, but I think, you know, we need to not try to think about it a little bit more so we don't fall into the same shit. Because, like, I don't know. It's literally the fucking, fucking typical metalcore, like, you know, 3-chord fucking Death Spirit Crusher, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm tired of doing this. It's literally the only thing that I always go back to, and I fucking can't stop.
Yeah.
It's so annoying, dude. I need to learn music theory, bro. But anyway.
We should, like, whenever we jam, we should
I'll be back.
definitely, like, come with...
Oh, yeah?
I would love to do that. I would love to do that more than anything
Michelle.
else.
Michelle, I'm gonna fucking
Bust.
come. I'm gonna fucking come. What was I saying?
You were saying welcome to the Cosatomicast
Hey.
episode. I don't know what episode we're
Episode
on.
whatever.
7
or 6.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Live from
3?
Phoenix. It's Sunday night.
So
Not 3.
1.
the album this
Oh shit.
was your pick, Ken.
Oh my god.
It wasn't my pick. It was
It
the
literally
it was
was
the
your
wheel.
pick.
It was the
my
wheel's
pick.
pick.
It's classics.
Dude,
week.
and you got so pressed that we had to respin the wheel, and you still got your album.
I would just like to
Exactly.
say I would have done, because Jeff, you were like, oh, you only want me to spin or not spin it again because it's your album. And I would have said that for any album, because I pressed it fucking once and Jesse flipped it over, and it's the principle. That was the album.
I
that
mean,
was the initial album.
Why are we arguing about this?
I don't
dude?
know. I'm just saying.
Why are we even
it was
arguing?
funny, dude.
'Cause it was-
Okay,
yeah.
moving
We're
on.
bringing it
We
back.
listened to Magical Mystery Tour.
Why are you even mad,
Jesse,
bro?
how'd you feel about Magical Mystery Tour by the Beatles?
I love it.
Cool.
It was it's
No,
definitely I would say probably my favorite Beatles album.
Same.
It's saying,
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
too.
even before this week, it's been my favorite Beatles album for ever and ever.
Such a solid
If I
album.
had to like pick, I mean, sometimes it's hard to pick your favorite album by your favorite band.
Yeah.
But if I had to, I would say Magical Mystery Tour, just in terms of just the lineup of songs.
Yeah.
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 There's not a
You
dud.
know? Like, I wouldn't say that the flow of the album is definitely anything that I go out of my way to praise or criticize. I would just say it's my favorite just based off of the
group of songs.
I think out of all of the Beatles albums, it has the collection of my most favorite songs per album.
I feel like
on the
this
album.
one is like very overlooked in their discography.
Which doesn't
Definitely.
make sense to me.
And I don't. Well, I think it might be because it's not technically an album in their discography when they first released it.
What?
Because it was an EP in England, and I think
But it's fucking
I might be wrong. Now
40 minutes long.
Well, that's because Penny Lane, Strawberry Fields, Baby You're a Rich Man, and All You Need Is Love were singles. And they threw that on to make it a full-length LP.
What?
But the
Yeah.
EP
Interesting.
ended, I think, at I Am the Walrus.
Strawberry
Those
Fields-
fucking songs
Or
work
Hello,
so
Goodbye, I
well
can't
on this
remember.
album.
I
That's
know.
incredible
Strawberry
that it
Fields was
wasn't.
originally supposed to be on Sgt. Pepper.
That makes so much
Yeah.
more sense,
Yeah,
dude.
that makes sense.
Like, if you
Yeah.
look at all of the demos on YouTube and on Spotify for Strawberry Fields, they all have the Sgt. Pepper album cover.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
What?
It's on. It's
I
on
never
like
knew this.
the on like the deluxe edition of Sgt. Pepper on streaming services.
Is it a
Oh, yeah.
different?
There's
Is it
Strawberry
like a
Fields.
different take or a different version, or is it the same exact?
No, it's
There's-
different takes.
there's
There's like
tons of different
29 different takes. of it.
That's
And
so
it's
sick, bro.
and then when they remaster, because
Okay, I knew that. I'm not that much of a pro. so
I think
fucking
they every year for like the 50th anniversary of them back in like 2017, 2018 and stuff, they remastered and added demos and outtakes for Revolver, Sgt. Pepper, The White Album, and Abbey Road, but not Magical Mystery Tour.
Ooh.
Well, it makes
Burn.
sense in this
Yeah,
with what you
because
just
it's
said.
not. I don't think it's technically an album like in England.
It's not like they're going in there with like the sole purpose of recording this album.
Yeah,
you know.
on the Parlophone record label.
Yeah,
I think.
I'm pretty sure I have the super deluxe Abbey Road on vinyl with all the demos and shit on it.
You
I
do.
think-
I
I think
remember you
Damn.
got
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
my grandma
That's
got
sick.
it for me for Christmas.
that's
dude.
fucking
I
dope.
love that.
That was during the whole Beatles phase.
Yeah.
Well,
of
so
2020.
but I want to go back to the point that Jerry made earlier as far as I remembered it. I'm getting better at this. The weave, as it were.
The weave.
You're wearing a
The
weave?
dude. You guys don't pay attention to anything I say, dude. I fucking explained the weave on like
No.
the first podcast, bro. Anyway, dude, look it up.
I remember.
up if
I
you guys-
ignored it.
I remembered the weave.
Look it up
I
if you guys
remember the
fucking
weave.
don't remember what the weave is. I'm not gonna explain it to you again, dude.
It's a
you don't listen well
hairpiece.
enough. But anyway, I'm weaving back to Jerry's point that he made earlier. It is very interesting to me that all these songs weren't recorded with the express purpose of being on this album. Because to me, when Jerry says, "Oh, I don't," as a like a album, as a whole piece of music, he was like, "I don't really go out of my way to listen to it for that aspect." But for me, it is the Beatles record that is the most, maybe besides Rubber Soul, but it's the Beatles record that's the most uniform, and to me, all the songs fit together the best out of any Beatles record. It's the most
For sure.
album-like Beatles record, in my opinion, because that is the whole Beatles thing, especially obviously with that time period, is like doing kind of a variety of different songs. To me,
Right.
this album is like the epitome of a album that has a vibe.
Yeah.
And that has and it's crazy to me that these fucking songs weren't supposed to be on the album because they fit so fucking well, dude.
Dude, Magical
know.
Mystery Tour is a greatest hits album.
I agree.
Basically, yeah.
But they're all so similar, which is crazy
Right.
to me.
Right.
So cool.
They
bro.
all,
That's
it
crazy.
is like peak psychedelic era, and
Exactly,
that's why I'm saying
dude.
like it's upsetting that Sgt. Pepper gets all the love when Magical Mystery Tour really doesn't.
It's way more
'Cause it's-
psychedelic than
yeah.
Sgt. Pepper.
I love it a lot
Pepper.
more.
At the same time, though, it's like, at the same time, though, if you were to flip flop the albums in terms of the pop culture experience,
Right.
Magical Mystery Tour, I have a hunch that people would have listened to that in '67 and been like, "What the hell is this?" compared to Sgt. Pepper, because Sgt. Pepper, even though it's not as cuckoo bananas,
Right.
it's
still very digestible in terms of what the Beatles had previously put out prior to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that whole thing with if I feel like the track from Help to Rubber Soul to Revolver to Sgt. Pepper was really, and it probably wasn't necessarily a deliberate choice to release it like that. Like I'm sure it was their natural progression. But I feel like if you would have jumped from Rubber Soul to Sgt. Pepper, people would have been like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
The fuck is this?" But Revolver in the middle there, like, helped transition it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
For
like
sure, dude.
Revolver's
Because
a great transition
and
album.
I think Revolver, like, because Within and Without You is on that record,
Sgt.
right?
Pepper.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What
Love
are
You
the, like,
Too.
What are like the real psychedelic ones on Revolver? I forget.
Love You Too. Tomorrow Never Knows.
Tomorrow Never Knows. That's what
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
Taxman.
Of. Right.
Yeah.
Taxman is not pretty.
It's got a
but
backwards
Tomorrow-
guitar solo.
Tomorrow
Yellow
Never Knows
Submarine.
is specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Was it?
Yellow Submarine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tomorrow Never Knows specifically is very like, it makes sense that the progression of that, because I feel like Tomorrow Never Knows is a good kind of peak into that.
Yeah.
And then Sgt. Pepper gets a little bit more, and then like this album is like, whoo,
And
they're
then-
fucking out there. It's so sick.
And then on the White Album, they all hated each other.
Yeah.
I want to
So-
say real quick,
What's up?
Tomorrow Never Knows is my favorite Ringo drum groove.
Solid one.
I
Hold
think
up, let
I
me
think that
give
drum
context.
groove is absolutely fucking dirty, dude. It's so good.
And I'm pretty sure it's tape looped. That
Really?
That yeah.
But
that
it's so simple, but it's so good.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh god, I love
Great
this shit.
stuff.
that flam on the snare.
It's not even a flam.
Is that a flam? I don't know. I don't know drums.
Oh my god, I
So-
love this fucking song. That song
So
is
I
so
know
good.
that
It's so good.
that the rest of us are big Beatles guys. Leaf,
I'm a big Beatles.
Is this
you're-
your first
you're a
time?
big Beatles? Like,
Microphone Leaf.
My middle name is literally Jude. After
Oh, that's
the
right, it
song Hey
is. That's
Jude.
right.
Yeah.
Damn.
so what did
bro.
you what did you think about this album?
Is this your
I-
first time listening through it?
Like I've definitely heard all the songs before. It's my first time ever listening to the songs in order, like
Okay.
in one sitting.
Okay.
But fucking Full on the Hill. I
Good.
fucking
Great song.
love Full on the Hill.
Yeah, dude.
That's like, as far as the structure goes, fucking, I don't know why, but to me, it's like the way it flows, honestly, is like a metal song, kind of.
Yeah,
with,
it's
like,
very
how-
linear.
Yeah, and then it has like builds up into breaks, even though it's all happy and shit, but it
Yeah.
still is like, just want to get down to it, bro. I
It's like
fucking
you
love
got that, you
song.
got the nice like jangly chorus, and then it goes into that real minor part.
Yeah,
Full on the hill, sees the sun going down.
Yeah.
Like that, and that
Yeah.
whole part in and of itself is like this song is like such a peaceful sounding song, and then it goes to that, and it kind of ties in the lyrical aspect of the song too. And I feel like it gives more like more like vibe to the whole like this dude is crazy and kind of outside of
Yeah.
Totally.
the norms of society. And that if that part wasn't there, the song would feel so much more like not tied into the lyrics.
Yeah.
Kind of disconnected. But
Yeah, the lyrics definitely correlate with the key changes for sure,
Yes.
which is
Dude.
cool.
One thing that
Exactly.
I totally forgot about this album, because I haven't listened through an actual Beatles record in probably years. Whenever I listen to the Beatles, I always listen to them on shuffle. It's mainly just because, they're probably my favorite band like ever. So I can never just pick one album
Right.
to listen to.
their
it's 'cause
albums
it's-
work that way too. You can put them on
Yeah.
shuffle, and it's not like you're missing anything.
yeah.
Because, you listen to, Mesmerize or Hypnotize, you have to listen to those albums in order
Right.
to, digest it in the best way possible, album speaking wise, not, per song wise. So when I put this album on, last week and listened to it for the first time through and fucking God knows how long, I was so taken aback by the transition from Magical Mystery Tour to the Fool on the Hill.
Yeah.
Like, it starts out such a big band opening,
Ba, ba, ba,
you know,
Yeah.
ba, ba, ba,
like
ba.
literally, arguably better than Sgt. Pepper. And
Yeah,
then
I think so, dude.
Yeah, and then it's so it kind of reminds me of having a crazy manic episode. You're just like, wow, this is so fucking cool. I'm on top of the world right now, and then all of a sudden you're hit with the Fool on the Hill, and you're
It's-
just like,
yeah.
wow, I
Yeah.
literally just cannot move my body right now.
The
And it's
transition
like-
between
I
the-
can't
yeah.
do anything.
They're fun.
To the same point, you go into flying.
Yeah.
And it transitions so perfectly, dude. And it's just in a little break, and you're like, this is nice. I feel like I'm walking through the park right now.
Yeah.
This is nice. I feel the
Dude,
sun
yeah, I love
shining
flying.
down on me.
Mhm.
And then it perfectly fucking transitions into the most abhorrently psychedelic song that, in my opinion,
Yeah.
the Beatles have ever put out, dude. Blue Jay Way
Mhm.
is, besides maybe Revolution 9, obviously, but Blue Jay Way is the peak Beatles psychedelia, dude. I fucking love this song so much, dude.
Blue Jay Way's great.
Blue Jay Way
yeah.
is fucking
it's
so
definitely,
awesome,
It's
dude.
probably my favorite out of the the psychedelic George songs. Between
Yes.
Love You Too, I love Love You Too, but between Love You Too, Within You, Without You, and Blue Jay Way, it's definitely probably my favorite.
Oh,
I
so
wanted to
good.
say earlier about Fool on the Hill, but this applies to, I think, everybody's vocal performance on this album. But, all their performances are just so good. They're so expressive. They all really, capture the imagination. Like Paul in The Fool on the Hill and George in Blue Jay Way are just really selling the character
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
that they're, singing about.
Totally, bro. I feel like especially, well, I mean, they're both just as good, but like for me, like the way that I don't know, Jesse will know what I'm talking about. Whenever you hear interviews of M Shadows talking about Backcountry.
Oh yeah.
That whole bridge part. That's whatever. What does he refer to it as? Like drugged out or something?
Yeah.
And like that though, his delivery of the fucking lines in Blue Jay Way is literally, it's like he's on fucking psychedelics, dude.
Yeah.
The way that
Sounds
he's
deranged.
yeah,
probably
the way
was.
that he's forming the words and the way that the words themselves like progress through the song and what he's talking about. Every word that he forms is like perfectly, just like Jake said, perfectly embodying the vibe and the like. There's a fog upon our lake.
Like you can hear the smile on his face, the fucking deranged smile.
Yes, dude. It is like, it literally gives me chills,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Your Mother Should Know. Too.
Yeah.
I feel like
song.
that's probably my favorite song on the album.
song's
Honestly, I love that song. I love Paul's granny shit so much.
Totally,
Yeah.
dude.
But because you know the music video where they're like all in the suits and they're kind of walking down the staircase to that and everything. I feel like that's the exact character Paul was trying to go for when he was singing.
Exactly, dude.
Like some sort of ballroom singer, like in The Shining.
Right.
Like when the ghosts are dancing. I imagine. I mean, obviously that was before The Shining, but like that kind of tone was what he was going for. Some sort of like haunted ballroom kind of shit. I
totally.
love it.
Dude, I love the parts of the song where he's like humming the melody. You know what I mean? Love that shit.
Yeah, for real, dude. That one is like, Your Mother Should Know is, I wish that there was more harmonies on that song. Because I feel like, for me, whenever I sing that song, dude, I just immediately start singing a harmony. I can't help it.
Yeah.
And like,
Which song?
Your Mother Should Know.
Oh, I got you.
There's
I wish in a way it's like, I understand the restraint, obviously, because to be honest, if you just fucking ripped a harmony the entire song, it'd probably take away from the melody a little bit.
yeah.
But like, fuck.
That's how I feel about When I'm 64. Every time that song comes on, I sing a harmony.
Yeah.
I sing the same harmony every time, and I'm like, I wish this song had that harmony.
It's really funny.
It's so upsetting.
You guys bring that up because the Beatles do so many harmonies.
Right.
I wonder if they did do that harmony,
And it's just buried a little bit.
and it's either buried or they just decided not to do
Opted Right.
it.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
I
like-
feel like
they
they
have-
probably just decided not to do it.
Yeah,
to
because
be
they
honest.
have 30 takes of every fucking song that they've
Right.
ever put out.
That's an interesting point. Yeah.
I wonder.
I'm
if
sure they worked
especially
it-
in those later days, for sure. Yeah.
Every song they came up with, I'm sure they like worked out a harmony or something, and then in the editing room they were just like,
Right.
doesn't need it there.
God, I just like, fuck, dude. I wish I was a fly on the wall, bro.
Right.
Fuck.
Seriously.
God damn, bro.
Your
And like we get a lot of insight, obviously, from the demos that they release of the extra takes and shit. But dude, I mean, like, you never know what they, as they were writing the song itself. But I guess that is an interesting like thing to think about because, obviously, I wonder how many at this stage in their career, how much they were, like properly demoing songs.
Yeah.
And how much they were actually recording, maybe in a crude way. Maybe they're fucking rich at this point and they can use all the tape they want. But yeah, I really wonder how much pre-production was going into this stuff and how much they already kind of had as a band before going into the studio. And yeah, I don't know. I just love to, I don't know.
My fucking dumbass for half a second when you said that, I was like, they probably demoed all their songs. They just press record on their phone.
But yeah,
And
it's
then
like,
I had to think about it. I was
that's
like,
exactly my point. It's like,
yeah.
you don't, obviously we can sit here and demo shit all day long because we have fucking, it's just the amount of space that we have on our fucking hard drive. That's all we have to
Yeah.
worry about. But yeah, I really wonder, like, I mean, obviously at this point in their career, they're the fucking biggest band of all time. Money is no object. But I really wonder how much of these songs when they're forming them are demoed versus them just hashing it out and then just going into the studio and just trying shit one after the other and one after the other.
I feel
You
like
know?
that's what a lot of bands probably had to do during that time period.
But
was
the
just
thing is,
really,
the Beatles are rich at this point, so it's,
Yeah, they
so
could-
maybe they had the ability to demo stuff.
well,
I don't
it's
know.
stuff like if the Get Back documentary or like the Escher demos on the White Album.
But the whole Get Back
They
documentary,
clearly-
that
yeah.
was their whole point of doing that album was to strip it down and
Restrict it,
go in as a
yeah.
band. So it makes sense. Like obviously in the Get Back documentary, they're sitting there as a band, figuring shit out and kind of writing and bouncing ideas off. Not really.
Yeah.
Paul's a dictator in that a little bit, but
No, he is for sure.
But I don't know. What do you? Okay, this is total tangent. What do you guys think about Paul? The criticism of Paul when that kind of documentary came out of him being too much of a creative dictator over the rest of the dudes.
I mean, doesn't he straight up himself admit to it? Because somebody had to fucking get the band to do band things.
Right. Because obviously George just left halfway through. Was like, "Fuck this, I
Yeah.
quit."
Yeah.
they were all so on their own shit, and
Yeah,
their
like,
egos were all so
John
out
got
of control.
Right.
Or
like-
remarried, I guess.
I get it. If Paul didn't reel everybody back in, John would have just gone to do more heroin.
That's
and
so
write
true.
songs about
That's-
Yoko Ono.
That is so
Finger
fucking
banging
true,
her.
dude. Whatever you want to say about Paul, I understand the criticisms of him, not being open to George's musical ideas and shit. But at the same time, like you just fucking said, dude, if he didn't reel them back in, if he wasn't the driving force of that shit, the album probably wouldn't have even fucking happened.
Probably.
Right.
So
Doesn't mean he wasn't a dick though.
yeah,
Like,
I don't know. I understand the it is tough that whole paradigm of because at the end of the day, I mean, whenever I'm gathering ideas for stuff, to be honest, I try to kind of do it a little one-on-one with each person before I kind of bring everyone in, just so I get everyone at their most open and least influenced by other people's kind of input. I'll bring you, or I'll bring everyone in kind of separately just to section it off so I can get all the ideas more concretely. And in a way, as cool as sitting in a room and jamming as a band is, you definitely probably get more ideas that way. But in a way, I don't know. You sometimes can get to a point where it's almost too much, and it's hard to find a direction because there's 5 people.
and just focus.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it was always Lennon McCartney
Yeah.
writing
And
it.
I think there's something to be said about that. For example, this is kind of something I wanted to talk about is when we as a band, this is a little bit of a not that fucking anyone's listening or cares, but this
I'm
is a
listening
little
and I care.
this
I
is a
don't.
little kind of out like looking glass into our songwriting process. Usually, for the most part, it's a Jeff or a Jesse song. For the most part, we are both really good songwriters, and so is Kent. And usually, we'll kind of flesh something out and then bring it to the rest of the people.
You guys suck.
And then, and I feel like that's a cool workflow because it's kind of like the Beatles, you can almost see into what kind of song it is and who's writing it.
It's definitely more concise.
Yeah.
It definitely it's a somewhat more singular vision.
Right.
I feel like with a lot of completely altruistic songwriting for bands, they just end up becoming jam bands
That's
in a lot
the
of
thing.
ways because that's if you get all 5 members,
It depends on what you're
I don't
doing.
know. Yeah.
It definitely depends on what
It
you're
just
doing.
depends on who you are. It depends on how you interact with people. There's no right or wrong way.
But
it doesn't matter.
I think it's in a way there is, to me at least with us, you can definitely feel the songs that have a little bit more of that jam band kind of aspect. I mean, for example, a perfect example is us fucking literally jamming.
Yeah.
It has that stripped down kind of more expansive, more droney thing going on. And yeah, I don't know. It's it's tough to kind of figure out what the best way to go about it is sometimes. And I don't know. There's no right way, but yeah,
What I-
it's just interesting whenever you can get a little bit of insight into that. And I wish I could fucking do that with the Beatles, dude.
What I really like is like almost everything off of the Sarcophagus. You know, there's not really many songs off of the Sarcophagus that one person individually wrote.
True.
Like there are a few, like I wrote the Sarcophagus title track. You wrote Electric Sheep.
Right.
You wrote Epitaph.
Kent wrote Providence for the most part.
And
Yeah.
and Providence. You know, it's almost everything off of the Sarcophagus was a group effort. I mean, I remember sitting in Jake's basement, and the three of us wrote The Flood.
Yep.
You know, I came to practice with the riff, and then you guys, you know, helped me out with that, and we literally wrote The Flood sitting in the basement.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
Good times, man.
Because that was a great
It
time.
was good.
That was a really good day. And where I'm going with this is that it's cool when artists collab, because you can definitely tell who was kind of the brainchild behind the song. So like if you write the song, it's usually a lot more aggressive, a lot more heavy.
Right.
If I come, it's a little bit more melodic, bounces
Right.
around a little bit more. You know, Kent's the wild child.
Yeah,
Kent, you
because
never know what Kent's gonna bring to the
That's
table.
the thing. Like Providence is a heavy
Yeah.
song, and Kent. I mean, for all intents and purposes, wrote. I mean, pretty much all the riffs. I definitely like fucked with them a little bit
Yeah.
and put them into a little bit more of the metal context. But like for like the notes themselves and the chord progressions are pretty much all you. And then like solo section on, I
Yeah.
kind of wrote the rest of that.
At the end of the day, it's all a collaborative effort, which I
Obviously.
mean, so many bands like nowadays, like they don't credit individual people. They just credit the band name. Like anytime you're looking at the
Right.
lyrics on Apple Music, you look at older songs and it'll have a single person, you know, credited, maybe two people. But now it's most of the time it's just the name of the band that's credited
Right.
as the songwriters,
What's-
which is
what's-
probably it's the smarter thing to do. I think it's the more appropriate thing to do because you take away one element and it's
Yeah.
like the whole thing of you're not able to copyright like drum beats,
Right.
which neither here or there when it comes to like the actual
We'd
logistics
all be,
of it. You
We'd
know,
all be fucked if you could copy our drum
Yeah.
beats, dude, because there would be none left.
yeah.
Like,
It's like
straight
where-
up.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
but at the
seriously.
end of the day, it's a collaborative effort.
Right.
You know,
But in a way, it is. I understand your point there as far as like crediting the entire band, but in a way, it almost ruins not ruins, but it takes away a little bit from the image and the mystique of the band because you know it's like the Beatles, for example. You
that's
have
I was
Paul
gonna say
songs.
this exact thing.
You have
I-
go on with it. Go on.
I
yeah.
love it when you can tell who is you're listening to it and you can tell that by the tone of the song and everything, you're like, oh, this is a Paul song. This is a John song. This is a
Right.
George song. Even though they're all credited as Lennon McCartney for Paul and John, you can spot from a mile away which one John wrote and which one Paul wrote just by listening to it.
Right.
And yeah, I think it is more fun to have that because it builds like character for the band in
Yeah.
order to do that. To
In
be
a
like,
way,
oh,
yeah.
this person wrote this, and then you get more of a feel of how they write songs compared to another member of the band. But it is weird because, like you said, I mean, yeah, I wrote the structure of Providence and the riffs
realistically-
and stuff, but the state that it's in right now, I did not write that song.
But realistically, though, like, if we wanted to do that and didn't want to just credit the entire band, it's tough. How would we organize that? Because, I don't know. I feel like obviously, you know, I wrote the music for Electric Sheep, but I had nothing to do with the words.
Yeah.
So it's tough. Maybe, I guess in that case, you know, the person who wrote the music is the first one on the fucking list, and then but it gets into a weird area there.
Yeah. Unless
Because
you're
I'm not adept at writing lyrics, and you know, the Beatles is different because they all were writing lyrics.
yeah.
You know, and that as far as like how people think about as a song, who wrote this song, they're talking about most of the time. They're talking about the actual lyrics.
Which I wouldn't mind that with like the songs that we write, just whoever it's like the Beatles, like whoever wrote it sings on it and they write the lyrics for it.
Right. But
I
at
think
the
that's a
same
cool way to
time,
do it.
I don't know.
When
I'm
we
not
all
good enough
become
at writing
famous
lyrics.
millionaire singers,
Yeah.
We're gonna sign a contract now while we're still friends and we're broke that all the songs were written by Cosatomic and performed by Cosatomic. So that way, when we're all famous singers and we hate each other because there's millions of dollars involved because one person's song blew up and the other one didn't, we're all still friends because we're all making the same
Yeah,
amount of
I
money.
think. Yeah.
Period. At the end.
And that's it makes
what I've
it's a
been
good it ties into the whole fucking Beatles framing of this conversation because like obviously that's what
And
fucking happened, dude.
they were at each other's fucking throats.
Exactly, dude. Who knows what would have fucking
Because
happened?
each of
if-
them wanted to get their own songs
Yes.
on the album.
Who
and-
knows what would have
yeah.
happened if it was just the Beatles
Yeah.
and not Lennon McCartney or whatever? It would take away from the mystique and it would take away from the drama. But like maybe they would have fucking wrote more albums. You
Jesse,
know?
when you said when we're millionaires and famous singers, I just thought of the Star Wars Family Guy bit.
exactly what I was getting
Where
at.
he's there on the Death Star and they're like, I asked them to put a rail here, but they didn't. You know why? They said that we'd be leaning too much.
I was exactly going off of that.
None of this is gonna matter when we're famous singers.
We're all gonna be famous singers. We're not gonna be Cosatomic. We're gonna be a boy band.
We're gonna be
And we're gonna sing to playback tracks, and we're all gonna dress super cute. And
The American dream,
I
right
can't
there.
wait to put out a pop album. We're doing it.
what would our boy band name be?
Cosatomic, but the S is a 5. It's hard as fuck.
Leaf. What would our boy
You know?
band name be?
That upset
You're
me.
That's a hard one.
You're into a lot of boy bands, like Primus and Deftones and Acid
Oh,
Bath.
what
It
the
is-
fuck?
It is
Chill
all
with that,
boys.
bro.
They are boys. They're all
What?
boys.
They are boys.
We're already a boy band.
I think Jake Loki sold it already.
With the 5 and
Yeah.
7.
Cosatomic with a 5 is really funny.
With a 5 and a
That's
7.
good. No, it's 5 because there's 5 of us.
The T is a 7.
No, the 5 does make more sense.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's so fun. Okay, so let's keep fucking going on the track list here because we had a good kind of thing going. I Am the Walrus.
Great song.
Great.
Fucking
Awesome.
amazing song.
I love that song.
Yes.
Fucking amazing
I
song.
always, every time that song comes on, I always tell whoever I'm near the story about why John wrote that song.
What is the story? I don't know. Honestly.
don't know the
so,
story?
so apparently, when the Beatles were popular before before Magical Mystery Tour, school teachers in English classes were using Beatles lyrics to dissect like meaning in literature and stuff.
So sick.
And they were like, "Oh yeah, so what does this line mean?" And John hated that. He did not want people dissecting his lyrics and trying to extract meaning from it. So he wrote "I Am the Walrus," which is, if you look at the lyrics, completely nonsensical. Makes zero sense at all.
I think
I always
it's
wondered
all
this
non
because
sequiturs.
I know. I fucking always was completely mystified by the lyrics of the song. I was like, this makes no.
No,
fucking sense.
they're just it's just
love the
words that
lyrics
sound
of
good
this song,
together.
It's funny you say that because I also tell whenever the song comes on my playlist at work, I also have to tell the person right next to me, who usually is the same person next to me every day, about the origin of the song. But where I thought you were going was the Eggman story about him cracking the egg on the guy's head.
Oh Lord.
I don't know this.
No, who
No.
I know this.
was that? You that told
I
me?
don't
Jake?
I don't know if
Tell
I
it,
don't
tell
know if I told you.
If you know
It
the
was one of
story.
you
Oh
guys
my
that
God.
told me because I didn't know it before I knew you guys.
I think it was the lead singer of the Animals liked having an egg cracked on his head, like
Go on.
sexually,
Oh.
and I think John Lennon just started calling him Eggman or something to fuck with him.
I love that.
Something like that.
Interesting. I thought there was gonna be more to that.
I think there is more to that, but that's all I remember from it. I haven't heard this story in a while. But yeah, the singer, all I know is that the singer from the Animals got some sort of fucking sexual gratification from having an egg cracked on his head.
I love that. That's great.
Which head?
This one.
Both
There's,
of them.
This isn't a video podcast.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we'll leave it
Jake,
open
show
to
us on your
interpretation.
body which head
Which
it's
head?
not.
For those
That
of you
one.
that don't know, Jake has his cock and balls
Jake.
out right
Dude,
now.
it's
His
been out on
penis
the
on the
table this
table.
whole time.
Jay's been jerking himself
It's
off
fucking-
the entire
yeah.
cast.
We do that.
bro.
That's why we can't record this. We're
Yeah.
doing this naked.
Fuck. God damn it! I thought that was gonna be a secret, bro. Fucking put us on blast like that, bro.
No, but I love how with on Glass Onion on the White Album, apparently after they released I Am the Walrus, people kept trying to look into the lyrics and being like, what does it mean? What does this mean? And on Glass Onion, he says, well, here's another clue for you all. The walrus is Paul.
I remember
It's
that.
not.
He's
It's not Paul.
He's just fucking with people. I didn't know this.
Who
Yeah,
was the
he's
one that
just
was
trolling.
in the? Because it wasn't Paul that was in the walrus costume. It was one of the other ones. Who was it?
I thought it was John.
Was it John? I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm
who
pretty
it
sure it
was.
was-
I think it was.
I think it was
I
John.
couldn't remember which one it was.
But
though.
it's like at the end of the day, was it? It doesn't even mean anything who the
Right.
walrus
That
is.
entire
And
song is like just going off of like the little Beatles Easter eggs, and I didn't realize that he was just fucking with people.
Yeah,
Interesting.
he was just trolling, and I admire the man for that.
That's wild.
I do that a lot with like the lyrics that we write. Like I'll write a song that makes mostly sense, and then I'll throw in like just a word I made up or just a complete nonsense
Like
sentence.
what's the one in Ascension?
Your Daykin Autumn Glow.
Dakin is not a word.
Daykin is not a word.
But it's fucking sick.
It sounds good.
there was
It
one-
I
sounds
had
good.
never heard hoi polloi until we wrote Prophet of War, and
That
I
is
thought
true. That's true.
You
I
guys-
thought
yeah.
that was made up for the longest time until I asked you about
You
it.
guys kept. I think you guys asked me like a lot if if that was just a
there was
made up
one
word.
time.
I
where-
totally thought it was. I was like, "What the fuck is a hoi polloi?"
No, yeah, it's
There-
like the working class. It's like a 1920s term for
Right.
the working class.
There was one time where this. It's been years since I've listened to this demo, but it was. I think it was the very first demo of Electric
Jake.
Sheep
Oh.
that we ever.
Broody guy.
Yeah, Broody guy.
Ooh, classic.
I think it might be under Broody guy, but it was the first one that we ever recorded live in Jake's basement. And in the chorus, Kent says, "Look at all the apple pies." So
I do
whenever
not
hear
remember
that
this.
I
song,
don't remember that.
whenever I hear that, like, so whenever we play that song, and I hear that part, I always expect him to say, "Look at all the apple pies."
I gotta bring that back. I feel like there's other. I know on Power Trip, I switch out the last verse for the last verse of Whiplash
Oh,
by
yeah.
Metallica a lot.
I remember that.
That's funny.
I think there's quite a few other songs that I'll just. Oh, it's CFH, or no, Flaming Metal Systems. I'll say instead of the regular words at the end, I'll just go, "Lightning strikes my penis, flaming metal systems."
Dude, the first time you ever did that, I was laughing so hard I like couldn't even fucking play the song.
I
anymore.
remember when he did that. I don't know if it was the first time he ever did
I
it.
think it was in
Titans
practice.
clash.
Yeah, it was at
my
practice.
Penis.
Was it? That's
Yeah,
right.
it was at practice.
And then I remember there was another time that we played it at Dr. Jack's Leaf. There was this bar that we used to play at in Omaha called Dr. Jack's that had this outdoor stage that was super cool. And he went to the very back of the crowd and hopped up on the table and was like, "Everybody turn around." And everybody turned around. And he was like, with his hands, he was like, he had his hand in his left hand, or his hand in his left hand. He had his mic in his left hand like this. And then with his right hand, he was like, and he was like pelvic thrusting while he did this. And he was like, "Lightning strikes my penis." And he like pointed at his dick. And it was, I tried to keep the straightest face that I could during that part of the song. And it was just the most impossible fucking thing to do ever.
Classic.
I
was a good time.
love fucking switching up the lyrics
Yeah,
live.
yeah,
It's
for
so
sure.
fun. I don't know why more bands don't do that.
For real,
it's
bro.
so fun. Just to say fucking nonsense like in the middle of a song.
Totally, dude. All right, Hello Goodbye. I fucking am not a fan of this song. I think, and I don't really think Jake is either. The fucking Target commercial ruined it for me.
I've
Yeah,
never
I've
seen
been-
the
I've
Target
been-
commercial in my life.
I've been waiting.
I remember
I've been
the
waiting to
Target
talk about
commercial.
it.
I've never
so-
seen the
Yeah,
Target
go
commercial.
off, Jake. Go off, Jake.
Okay, here's the deal about this song. This song is a good song. I just don't like this song.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
that's the problem with it. I think this is a Paul McCartney performance.
Yeah.
I feel like he went into the studio with the intent of fucking just yelling baby noises into the microphone for part of the song, going wow 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 wow. I don't know, man. There was a Target commercial in like the mid to late 2000s that actually used the song. I swear to God, but I
thought it was a
cannot
cover.
I think
No,
it was a
dude.
cover.
No, there is a Target commercial with the
Mandela
cover,
Effect.
but I swear to God, maybe it's Mandela Effect, but I swear I remember a Target commercial using the actual song, not the cover. Swear on my life.
Who knows, bro?
But either way, yeah, I've just never been a fan of the song for that reason because I watched so much TV as a kid. I let a Target commercial ruin it for me. You know what I'm saying?
what Leaf? What's your synopsis of Hello Goodbye? What do you think about the song?
Didn't like stick out to me in it. Like I thought it was good, but I wasn't like, oh, this is the best track or this is the worst track. It was just like
Very
I
fair.
thought,
It is-
I thought it fit where it's at.
It's definitely like the most middle of the road
Yeah.
song on the album.
It just
And I
sounds like a
it.
song for fucking like colander commercials or some shit, dude. Like I don't know.
Colander commercials?
Yeah, dude.
Who the fuck is advertising colander?
It's like a
I don't know,
Clorox
QVC?
fucking. It's like a Clorox fucking clean wax. Fucking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Man, maybe that's
Charmin
Tip
Ultra
commercial.
Strong ass fucking.
Maybe that's because the Target commercial completely ruined the song. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't
But-
know. It just like not my favorite song on the album.
Fair. Jerry, what do you think of Hello Goodbye?
I love Hello Goodbye. I've
Yeah.
always really liked Hello Goodbye. I listen to it pretty frequently. Out of all the Beatles songs are the more popular ones, I would say it's one of my more favorite ones.
I don't
It's
know.
It just has a really chimey, fun chime to it that
It's
just,
definitely
yeah.
the least interesting, but
I
it's
mean,
just a bop.
It is a good
I don't
song.
know.
It's a
I
really
mean,
good song.
I think it's the lyrics that throw it off for me. I think for
there's like two lyrics.
It is
That's
a
the thing.
basic ass bitch.
All the
Yeah.
lyrics of the song are in the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's something I wish it's kind of the but then again, I love songs that repeat the shit out of stuff like fucking Best of You by Foo Fighters. You know, that's a fucking great song.
Is that the one that goes the best, the best, the
No,
best,
it's
the best of you?
I think you're thinking of a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
one.
Is that
That's
I don't
yeah.
know. Who's
Yeah.
that by?
Yeah, who knows?
I think you're.
I thought that was is that not it? I thought that was it.
No, that's not it.
Really?
No, that's not it.
That's
It's
not
a whole
Who's
different
that song
song.
by?
all right.
It's
Yeah,
a whole different
the
song.
jig is up.
Really?
No, it is
That's-
that song. I was fucking
Okay.
with Ken.
I was about to say,
Oh,
man,
fuck you!
Wait, what happened?
asshole?
That shit had me confused as fuck.
Leaf and Ken are retarded. That's the.
I
don't
missed it,
know
dude.
songs.
Fuck, dude. Sorry.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think the lyrics just they could be the song itself is good, but I think the lyrics kind of like detract a little bit from the content of the song.
Yeah, it's just kind of a nonsense, fun, whatever.
Fair.
Yeah, it's just him saying like, "Oh, you say hell."
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying.
I just remember.
It's a song for babies, dude.
I just
It's an ABC block
I
fucking
just
song.
remember the that meme from the Beatles shitposting page.
Oh, that was
The one with George Harrison, where it's like, what are the Beatles' opinions on sexual consent? And it shows George Harrison. It's like, I'll make love to you if you want me to. And then it shows Paul, in like that picture of Paul where he's swimming and he looks super menacing.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like, you say stop and I say go.
All right. Strawberry
funny.
Fields Forever.
Great
Strawberry
song.
Fields
Yeah.
is fucking
the
awesome
fucking
as
best.
fuck.
Yeah.
It's on Jesse's arm.
It is.
Yes.
It's on my arm 3 times.
Yeah.
That's how much I like this song. It's on my arm 3 times.
Classic. It's tough to even talk about this song because I mean everyone's heard
There's
it.
just
Everyone
and there's
knows this
just
song.
so much going on that like makes it so cool.
Yeah.
Like
Do
the
you-
fact that the key changes like to a non-Western standard key because they Verispeed it. You know, coming
Wait, what do you
into the
dig
verse?
into that a little bit more? I don't understand.
The last
so.
chorus and verse is 2 different takes.
And
Yeah,
the
well,
song.
okay. So what they do is, I can't. Don't quote me on this, but I watched like a big video.
it's
on
okay. Misinformation is fine. This is
Whatever.
this is the internet.
We're
dude.
spreading this. It's fine. But going into the let me take you down 'cause I'm going to.
Ooh.
They didn't actually, I guess, change the key there. They George Martin Verispeeded it. So that's why it slows down ever slightly, and that's why the key changes is because obviously they didn't have pitch shifting and then non-pitch shifting time
Right.
change or whatever.
So, the
they had to.
drums sound
it was-
warmer.
Yeah, it goes
And all the rest.
Yeah.
Wow,
it
I
was
didn't
from
know
2
that.
different takes. The take that they took of the final version of the song, they didn't like that ending part of the song, but they liked it from a different one. The problem was just like what Kent was saying, it was at a different key. So he cut the tape and had to splice it together by hand, and that's why it speeds up on the last chorus.
Oh
Yeah.
Or
wow!
like wherever it is in the song where it does it.
There is so much just weird production shit that like
That's so sick.
no other song or like band at the time was doing. I mean, the Beatles invented like fucking every production technique.
Yeah,
And if not invented, at least perfected.
Popularized, yeah.
and popularized.
It may not be their biggest song ever, but in my opinion, I mean this is my favorite song in the world, hands down.
Wow, really?
I mean, yeah, like if I had to point at every song that I've ever heard in my entire life, like this is my favorite song of all time, and it has been since I was 8 years old. And
so sick. I wish I had that, bro. Fucking hell.
what I like about this song so much compared to every other Beatles song, to build on what Kent was saying with the production quality, or not quality, but like the techniques of it, is I feel like this song perfectly encapsulates what the Beatles are and what they stand for, what they believed in, their adaptiveness to work together, and just to output art. I feel like
British
this is,
quality of the Beatles as well is very
Yeah.
apparent. Sitting on, you know.
yeah, and it's this song, in my opinion, is the perfect Beatles song that they could have ever put out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Remember in
And-
like 2019 when we almost covered it?
Yeah, I remember that.
We should.
I remember that. Yeah,
I'd be done.
That would be so
Don't know-
sick.
I just don't know how we would do that.
I know exactly how we would do it. I tabbed it out. It's still on my
Okay.
computer.
Okay.
Because I was ready for it. I tabbed it out in Guitar Pro.
Well, we should.
I forgot why we didn't.
I
But-
think that is something, and that I think it would be cool to just try and, in a sense, recreate
Yeah.
a lot of the production things that are going on, rather than just, you know, playing it as it were on the album on a fretboard.
Yeah.
You know, kind of try and recreate in a different way, kind of in the digital realm of something like that. I don't know.
And
That
also-
would be an entire project to do. That would be something that would be cool to put out as just a single.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the challenge was for us is that, you know, we're only a 5-piece band and that there's so much happening in that song. And I think it would be cool if it ends up sounding good and rather impressive if we were able to pull it off as a 5-piece band.
Right, like in a live situation to
Yeah.
where you could recreate.
Right.
Totally
I
do
don't
it.
know.
Yeah, we
I
could totally do it. We were close.
It depends. I think there's two different ways to approach that, and I think it as cool as that would be, I think it would also be tough, obviously,
Oh, yeah,
to
for sure.
to recreate the vibe and the instrumentation, the
There's-
arrangement of it. but-
Yeah.
There's a guy that put out a cover of the song. His name is Andy Timmons. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he does a cover of the song as a 3-piece, and he plays
Really?
like the guitar musical parts as well as the vocal melody on his guitar. It's a very
like it's an instrumental type.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's a very Hendrix style of playing
Really?
in terms of like playing leads and rhythms at the same time on
But
his
you
guitar.
you should put a little bit of clip of that in there if you can.
Yeah. I'll look for it. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he
just
does it
Just link it to me.
Yeah.
and he does it in a I don't know if it's technically live, but the music video is them playing it live in the studio.
Fucking sick.
So I mean, who knows if it's actually live in the studio or not? But I mean, it's a brilliant cover, and it says a 3-piece too. So it's,
Damn.
you know,
Take a little bit of inspiration from that.
yeah, absolutely.
That would definitely be something that we would have to like really think about.
Yeah, totally.
You know, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Be
that would
dope
be
if we can pull it off in a really interesting way.
that would be
That'd be
really
dope.
cool.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'd
There's
be
definitely
so down for that.
There's definitely a few songs that it's like I don't know how we would do this, but if we could, it'd be fucking dope.
We almost covered "I Am the Walrus" too, though. Last time.
Yeah, that's that
Walrus
was
would
COVID
be easier.
Yeah.
Walrus would be way easier to pull off.
COVID killed that.
But-
because that was supposed to be for
Wait, I thought we were going to open with Magical Mystery, Terry.
We opened
At
with
that
Sergeant
show.
Pepper. We covered Sergeant
Yeah,
Pepper
I know,
one time.
But
but
there was
we
the next
I
year-
thought we talked about at that Halloween show that we were going to open with Magical Mystery.
Yeah.
yeah, and then COVID killed it.
Right.
Bummer.
There was another time that I picked "I Am the Walrus" to cover because we used to do this thing since there's 5 of us, and we'd play a cover show every year. We would just draw from a hat and one of us would pick a song from the 60s, a song from the 70s, song from the 80s, song from the 90s, and then a song from the 2000s.
I remember that. I forgot about
And that would be the set list.
Fuck yeah.
It was a good time.
All right, what's the next song here?
Penny Lane.
I'm a fucking
song.
poser. Penny Lane is great. Yeah.
Definitely one of my favorites.
It's good. I know that Paul wrote that in response to Strawberry Fields.
Really?
Yeah, because Strawberry Fields is about John's childhood, so Paul was like, I want to do that. You get to talk about your childhood. I want to talk about mine.
It was
Because Paul's a
it was the
petty
double
ass
single,
bitch.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
Penny
It
Lane and
was-
Strawberry Fields.
I'm such a fucking Beatles poser. I don't know any of this shit, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You literally have the big Beatles.
I love it, dude. I love it.
he has
And for
big
anyone
Beatles
who's
book.
listening and that doesn't know the shit, it's a fucking perfect podcast to listen to, dude. But yeah, so can you do you have any more like information on
No.
that? Is that it? It's just his childhood.
Yeah, I think that song's just about because I think he grew up on Penny Lane, and he talks about some firefighter and some baker asshole, and I don't know.
That trumpet solo is fucking crazy. Always.
Speaking of solo, I Fool on the Hill. I was
Oh,
saying this
yeah.
last night. That shitty recorder solo.
I was gonna
Yeah.
ask.
Fucking
Love it.
awesome.
It's a recorder. I love it.
Dude,
It's like it
greatest.
that and Space Oddity by David Bowie also has a really shitty recorder solo, and I don't know what it is about shitty recorder solos, but I
They're
love them.
fucking awesome, dude.
So
They're
dope.
awesome
It's
as
just
fuck.
like, yeah, you play that instrument that a kindergartner
dude.
plays.
Well, and it's weird, especially in the context of that song too, and how like the duality. It's serious, but at the same time not. And you would think just throwing a fucking recorder solo in there would be fucking cheese central, dude.
It
and
is.
it just
And
wouldn't
it
work.
is, but
But it works.
But
so well.
the thing is, maybe if it is cheese central, I don't know. It's like it totally fucking works.
it just fits.
It is.
yeah.
It fits perfectly within that song, and I think in a way, it does. I don't know. It does tie in because if you think about the lyrics, right? It's this dude that's kind of again outside of society and doing in his own world in his own universe, and
Yeah.
maybe that's what's going on in his mind all the time is that fucking recorder solo.
I feel like if you
Dude, the
dropped-
song is whimsical, and so is the recorder solo choice.
right?
Yeah.
You know,
I-
it makes the song more whimsical.
Yeah.
I feel like if you dropped a recorder solo in a song that's already silly, already kind of like tongue in cheek,
Right.
it wouldn't work as well.
It
It'd
would
be
be
like,
too on
okay,
the
I get
nose.
it. You're doing,
Right.
You're being shitty.
Right.
You're because that recorder, like, it's just that it's sort of atonal. Like
Right.
it's not quite in key,
Right.
and like it kind of like even when you're holding the note, it kind of shifts on the note, which is really
Right.
funny. But it works for Fool on the Hill and like Space Oddity because they are kind of more serious, but they're also kind of whimsical and weird.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, like the song itself, the sound of the song is whimsical, but the lyrical content is
Yeah.
not. So it makes the execution of that kind of solo less on the nose and a little bit more interesting and a
Yeah.
little bit less cheesy in a way.
yeah,
you know?
yeah. I think
It reminds me a lot actually of Norwegian Wood,
yeah,
of the fucking whatever clavinet solo thing on there. What is that?
Is there a clavinet solo on Norwegian Wood?
Or maybe I'm
In My
just-
Life?
maybe I'm thinking of Strawberry Fields. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
That's In My Life.
Oh, In My Life. Yeah. Same album.
That's a piano. It's George Martin recorded it while the Beatles were out for lunch. They were working on that
Really?
song. George Martin recorded it, and he very sped it up.
To get in the same key.
Yeah, so it's not. It sounds like a harpsichord or a clavinet, but it's not. It's a piano.
Wow. That's a similar thing as the recorder solo, though. It's like
Yeah.
it hits you and you're like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah,
But it's somehow it works.
it works.
Yeah.
It works
Yeah.
fine. Yeah,
The harpsichord is one of the coolest sounding instruments.
I was gonna say the harpsichord kicks ass.
I
dude.
love harpsichord. Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for, not
Yeah.
fucking clavinet.
I don't even know the difference between the two.
I
Like
think clavinet
honestly.
kind of sounds like a clarinet almost. It's a little bit warmer, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. And it's not
Because
as
harpsichord is very like high attack and
Yeah,
very
yeah.
they're very cold sound.
It's all the transient.
Yeah, it's
You
very
know.
crisp.
Yeah. All right. Baby, a rich man.
That's a good song.
Underrated song.
I like that.
I think
Yeah.
that I don't know what the hell that is at the beginning and throughout the song.
Let me
I
listen.
thought it was like a mellotron or something.
Oh, I think you're right.
Are you talking about the end of the song or
Right here.
here?
Oh,
Oh,
right there.
this.
Yeah.
It's something.
Fuck, it's so sick. dude.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It almost sounds like it's like a guitar solo or like a
Just like super sped
super
up.
sped up. Yeah. I wonder. Look that up
Jake,
real
are you
quick,
looking it up?
Jake. What exactly that is?
dude. Okay.
I'll look it up too to see if
No, I'm
fucking
looking
speed
it up.
is it.
I'm looking it up. Dude. Okay.
Baby, I'm a rich man too.
That
I don't
song.
listen to that song very often.
It's a good song. I think it's a good
It
song.
is- it is a
I think
good
it's
song.
very underrated. I really enjoy that song.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of in the same vein lyrically
Mm-hmm.
as like Hello Goodbye, where it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, you're just kind of talking about shit.
Yeah, it
and,
repeats
like,
itself a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't really mean anything. It's just kind of you're having fun with it.
It's John Lennon playing a synthesizer.
Nice.
And it's
Okay.
just like sped up shit, basically.
Or is he
I
just
don't
like
I don't even
spamming
think
it?
it's sped up. I think it's just yeah, he's just spamming
Spamming
it.
the
Damn,
synth.
he's shredding that shit, bro. There
There-
has to be sped up. There's
He's-
no way.
it-
dude.
it's the synthesizer is called a clavioline or clavioline.
Hmm.
People were
Interesting.
making weird shit in the 60s.
It
Yeah,
sounds
they
like a
were.
fucking guitar sped up,
Dude, it just sounds like he's fucking
There was-
swiping on the keyboard.
What
dude.
was that live performance where he did that?
Shea Stadium. where he
What
uses
song was
fucking
it?
Elbow. I think it was
Yeah.
I'm Down.
Okay, I was thinking it was the same one.
Kick ass song, by the way.
Interesting.
I'm down.
But yeah, Baby
I'm
You're a Rich Man.
down.
It's like
song.
yeah, similar to Hello Goodbye, but it's a better version of that kind of song, I think.
Yeah.
I agree.
But the difference is that I actually like this one.
All right, All You Need Is Love. I don't like this song.
I don't care for it.
Whoa.
I love
I like
this
this song. Yeah, I
Really?
also like this song.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Like
It's
I
just
don't-
a happy song to me.
I don't know if
It's kind
they-
of boring. It's just boring.
I don't know
I
if
agree.
if they specifically had a outline for this album in terms of what songs they were going to pick as the closer. But I feel like this is a really good closing song to an album that starts with the Magical Mystery Tour song.
I can understand that.
It's
I think
very,
it's- I
it's
think
very
it's
big
fitting.
band, very
Yeah.
in terms of if I was watching, if this album was like a musical, like show choir production, this is the type of song that I would feel like would close this album.
I think it's fitting. It's just I think it's the same issue I have with like Come Together,
Mm.
where it's just like okay, it's cookie cutter in
I
my
could never
opinion.
get into Come Together.
I don't know, man.
I
I just
like
feel
Come
like it's like an
Together a
end
lot.
credit song, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like this song. This song has for the last like 3 years. This song has always been in my top 100 songs on Spotify.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Out of all the Beatles songs that I
Alright.
listen to, this song has every year has always been in my top 100.
How much of that is just it coming up on shuffle
Right
or
back.
whatever is
Uh,
that you going out of your way to listen to it or what?
Probably because I listen to my on repeat playlist pretty frequently, and then when I get tired of it, I'll stray away from my on repeat playlist,
Right.
and then after about a month, I'll come back and see what songs I've clicked on the most.
I need to get more into a whole playlist thing because I'm not that kind of guy, and I feel like I'm missing
I
missing
just
out.
Frankenstein all my shit in one playlist.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, and then I just shuffle it and just fucking spam skip until
I-
it's a song I want to hear.
I have like
See,
700
that's too much,
playlists.
bro. I
Well,
can't stand that.
Most of the time, it's like if I'm skipping it, it's like 2 or 3 skips, and it's something I'm good with. It's not like I'm
Yeah.
fucking sitting there going through 30 songs or
I
something.
have a playlist for every single one of my moods, and they're always like songs that make me feel like this. So my power metal playlist is songs that make me feel like Aragorn. my techno playlist is songs that make me want to experience sleep paralysis.
That's fucking awesome.
And then like my sad time playlist is songs that make my brain explode.
That's
It's just
fucking
like
fire.
just different names for like songs that make me do this. You know?
I have like what I have like I have like 3 playlists on my phone, and like 2 of them are just ambient playlists for tripping.
Yeah, that's
I love
like
that.
that's pretty much like I just have my fucking Frankenstein playlist, and fucking, I don't put any Primus or Tool in that. Whenever I have a fucking playlist, just every Primus song ever, and that playlist just every Tool song ever. I don't know why, but when I'm listening to those bands, like, I just only want to hear their shit.
Interesting.
And then I have a ambient, like, instrumental album that's just like fucking instrumental jazz and shit for when I'm just like reading or something like that, just chilling.
Love that.
Yeah, I like the I think obviously it's really easy to put an ambient playlist together because it's all very similar. But yeah, I have like 3 playlists. Like one is like perfect albums, you know.
I love that.
And then the other 2 are just titled Trip 1 and Trip 2 for times that someone who isn't me is taking drugs that expand your mind.
Yeah, I think the only playlists I have are like just for work, just curated songs that aren't too weird and out there for work, and that's about it. Like I'll either shuffle my entire library, or I'll just choose an album. Like I don't really have an in between.
Yeah, it's
Can
fair.
can I spit some knowledge I just found out about Baby You're a Rich Man?
Yeah, go for it, dude.
So, it is my understanding that that instrument we were talking about, the clavioline, that's how I'm going to pronounce it. It was a very early commercially available analog synthesizer. And so the way John allegedly, it's not confirmed, but allegedly how he played the part on the song was he just rolled an orange back and forth across the keys.
What?
To get
Well,
to
it
get
makes
that
sense.
sound.
It makes sense in the context of a piano because, like, if you stay on the white keys, you know, it's all whole notes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, or there's some half notes in there, but
It'll stay if you're playing in like C major. It'll
Yeah.
at least stay in key.
it's not like a guitar where there's a lot of chromaticism that can, completely fucking flip you out of the key.
yeah.
So that makes sense.
But
That
I mean,
makes
it's
way more
even
But
sense.
like-
it makes sense too because it just, it does kind of sound like somebody just spamming a fucking
Yeah,
object on the keys.
that's
you know?
what I thought. It was sped up because there's no way you could like choose those notes that
Right,
fast. you know?
right.
It's not like the Beatles were fucking Shredder, you know.
Right.
So like,
That's what I mean, that's what I did on one of my songs. On,
really?
Mr. Toad in a Hole. There's like a synth part that's in that song, and at one point towards the end, I just spam I literally just smashed my hands on the keyboard, and yeah,
It's interesting.
It's-
yeah.
you know it works though, and it like
Yeah.
somehow like obviously there's a bunch of wrong notes in there, but every time I'll like re-listen to it, it's like okay, it sounds right in this context.
Yeah.
Like it does feel like somewhat intentional, obvious, even though obviously it's not. It's just me fucking slamming my hand down on the keyboard. But
You ever
Yeah, that's
see-
interesting.
You ever see those videos of people that have like such a acute keen for picking out different vocal voicings that they can hear a really, really just deranged chord, and then they can play it like all at once. They can pick out.
no, but fuck those people.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like they can use like all of their fingers and they'll hear a chord that has like 9 different voices in it. And
Right.
then they can just play every single
Yeah, I mean,
every
it's
single thing.
just being adept to your instrument. There's only
Yeah.
one way to be that
Yeah.
visceral is practice.
Yeah. It's so wild.
That's
Yeah.
how you get to Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, for real. I wish
live
I was
on it.
that fucking good, bro. I wish I was that good because there's certain times where I'm sitting there and I'm like, maybe I'm under the influence of things that are outside of normal society, but and I'll sit there and I'll be like, I can't. Like, I feel like the state of mind that I'm in. I wish I was good enough at this instrument to be able to fucking play what's in my head, dude. And there's like, I don't know. I just need to get fucking better because there's certain points in time where I'm like, dude, I have this whole fucking thing in my head right now, and I can't fucking grab it and put it on paper before it's gone, bro. It pisses me off. That's why drums are so fucking cool because, like, once you get really good at the drums, it's a little bit more of a visceral kind of instrument because, I don't know, I feel like it's, maybe I'm wrong here, but as a drummer, you're a little bit closer to, like, because you don't have to deal with notes as much. You're a little bit closer to exactly what you want to play. Whereas, like, guitar, obviously, you have rhythm and then notes. That
Right.
adds a whole another fucking, paradigm to it. And fuck, bro. I wish I was I just wish I was that fucking good to be able. I get there sometimes, but yeah, I don't know. I need to get better. I wish I was able to fucking capture the shit in the moment a little bit better, and especially when I'm in different states of mind.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
I feel
I
you.
don't know.
for sure.
For sure.
But I hear you fucking jam on shit. And I'm like, dude, I wish I was that good of an instrument, bro.
No, I'm usually
That's what.
only jamming the same shit because it's fucking like the morning high stuff. I got to stay up on that because if
Yeah.
I don't practice it, then I actually get worse at playing.
Yeah, that's so fair, bro.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, like I always like kind of think about that when I'm writing stuff, and especially arranging things as far as like the album goes. It's like we were talking about this, me and Leaf and Kent last night. We were like just doing some recording stuff, and I always want to kind of make sure that all the main components of the song that you hear in the recording are able to be pulled off live.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why, like, for example, in the chorus in Ascension, originally I had sang that high harmony, but I was like, well, I kind of want Kent to do it because then we can pull it off live.
Yeah.
You know, and like we were throwing Leaf on a couple of songs last night, and I was like, fuck, dude, so sick because now we can fucking pull it off live, and we don't have to worry as much about like, oh fuck, like how are we gonna figure this out? You know, how
It's
are we gonna?
definitely, yeah,
You know,
something to keep in mind when like
Yeah.
writing, because I really don't want to use backing tracks.
I mean, it's
Right.
there's something to be said about using backing tracks, but it's more
Not by
so.
me. I'm just kidding.
It's more so the I'm open to backing tracks, but the amount of money and gear that we would have to bring to a show, and invest in to make that happen in a like an efficient way
Right.
as a band at our level is like really tough.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we can just roll in with a regular IEM rig
Right.
that because we don't have we're not traveling with the sound guy. You
Yeah.
know, we're every single sound guy we come into contact with is never fucking done us before, probably.
The amount of times
So
that I've
it's
seen
tough.
like local bands have, you know, their computer with backing tracks on stage and it just fails at some point
Yep.
during
yeah,
the set.
dude.
And they kind of
Leaf, Leaf
Yeah,
has some
Arsenic,
insight on
we
this,
had
yeah.
so many fucking issues using backing tracks just over so many shows. Like, fucking, when we played that Sean Gatt show, we had to start our set like 10 minutes later because our laptop, just like the program that would launch that we were fucking running the backing tracks off, just literally would not load. So then we're sitting there because we can't fucking start because our clicks also fucking loaded on the track. Then Jonathan also plays the click and shit. So it's just like literally put us in a spot where it's like we're fucked, or we can play stripped down half-ass versions of each of these songs.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
And if
just-
you're relying when you're writing the
Yeah.
songs, if you're relying on those backing tracks to fill
Yeah,
that
actually
shit out,
fucks you.
yeah, it's
'Cause
really
we
tough.
can still play the songs, but as far as the way they're written, they don't sound half as fucking full without any
Yeah,
of that shit.
it's
They were
tough,
not
dude.
written to be performed without that.
Dude.
At least we have 5 people. Fuck.
Yeah.
When I saw Iron Maiden, the Who open for them, you know, the Mongolian fellers.
Oh, for some reason
Not
I-
the Pete Townsend, not the Pete
The
Townsend
Who.
one. Yeah.
the H.
Not the Who, the Who. You know what I'm saying? They had to have been running a click because like they all came out on stage and they didn't start for like 10 minutes, and I saw the drummer and like a couple of techs just like fucking running around flipping out, like grabbing different kinds of headphones
Brutal.
and
See,
shit.
that's the thing. Even at
And
that,
I was like, oh man.
even at that level of production, it is still hard to pull this kind of
Yeah.
shit off, dude. So it's
Right.
like I don't know, like
It's inconsistent.
at least Kent is not holding an instrument all the time, and you know we're not, you know, thank God that Kent has his fucking hands free, because in a way, like most of the stuff that I'm doing on the album is not audible. Kind of, it's very Avenged Sevenfold, like layer heavy, where like it's something where you mute it and then you turn it back on. And you're like, oh, okay, now I hear it, but I wouldn't have heard it otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But yeah, I'm very cautious to do things that aren't able to be pulled off live, because I would hate to ruin the experience for someone who really likes that song
Right.
and is really kind of attached to how it sounds. And if we wouldn't be able to pull that off live, it just, I don't know.
And it just
It's
just
tough to lean on those kind of things.
it just
Mhm.
completely ruins the, you know, the golden rule of
Right.
performing live, which is if somebody fucks up, if something happens to somebody's instrument,
Right.
you keep going.
That
You don't
is
fucking
also
stop.
Right.
Yeah, that's so another fucking level that I wasn't even thinking of while talking about
Yeah.
that. It's like, imagine like we're already bad and worse off enough if we're dealing with a fucking strict with the computer tracks, and then like God forbid someone's fucking instrument goes out. Dude, fuck.
Yeah.
Like that's even worse,
Yeah.
dude.
Because that's happened so many times where
Yeah.
somebody's, batteries die and they're wireless, or somebody breaks a string or something.
Right.
But you keep going anyway. Everybody keeps going unless it's somebody's
Yeah.
dying,
Right.
unless one of us gets shot or something.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I would be open to it, but it's like we have to do it in a archaic way, to where
Yeah.
we're not dealing with the computer, to where we have some sort of like piece of gear, like like a Roland SPD-SX or something like that, to
Yeah.
where like you would be in charge of like starting things or something like that, or like even the click would be loaded into that, so
Right.
like you would have control over that shit. We wouldn't have to rely on like a computer that has those audio files. Maybe
Well,
like
I mean, shit, even if we just had like a sample pad with some of the like sound effects that play between songs on the album, like that
Yeah.
doesn't have to
Yeah.
run to a click.
Yeah,
you know?
but I don't know. That's the thing. It's like you have to be careful. That's why, again, like I said, I'm not really doing shit that is reliant on a click, like a for example, like a arpeggiator or some shit.
Yeah.
Like that would totally fuck you over. And we've tried doing this before. Like remember at the end of Fright Night in fucking 2020.
When we fucking
I
destroyed
tried, yeah, when we destroyed. I tried to like do a loop, and like
It
it
literally could have just been me and Mason. And I
Yeah,
feel
it
like
just
that
didn't-
should have just been me and
and then
Mason
the
at
same
that
thing.
point.
I think we
So
pulled
I
it
couldn't
off.
hear you. I couldn't
Yeah,
hear your little
exactly.
loop at all.
Yeah, and it's like in the live context with the distorted guitar, if you don't have a click to rely on,
Right.
it's like, and even so, like this is the thing I always think about too. How the fuck do people do live loops, this kind of shit? Because like you have to be so fucking precise, exactly on the fucking beat. Because like what if I'm a couple milliseconds ahead or behind the beat, and every time that fucking loop goes around, it just gets farther, and I don't understand how people do this
The
shit.
guitarist of the special is a fucking wizard at that.
How does he go
has
about
like,
that?
He has like fucking 15 pedals at his feet, and he's like literally DJing with his feet while he's playing guitar and keyboard and fucking singing at the
So
same
is it
time.
like-
They're
Fucking
so
dope.
Are those
badass,
That's
are
bro.
those
fucking
loopers
dope.
like automatically quantizing those parts? Because how is it staying on the click?
I'm not because it's a foot looper. I think he's just I think they're all just fucking wizards.
'Cause, like, the
they
thing-
all went to Harvard and not Harvard.
Yeah.
Fucking what's the
Juilliard?
Berkeley.
Oh.
They all went to Berkeley, so
But
they're
you-
all just like fucking wizards. Like they.
But do you understand what I'm saying though? As far as like, if you don't make
Yeah.
that loop perfectly, if it's a header before the beat, then like it's just gonna fall. It's just gonna keep falling. I don't understand.
I mean,
how
I'm
people do
assuming
that.
just at the end of the day, just practice.
Maybe,
But it
I
probably
don't fucking
sits
know.
there in front
Yeah.
of the pedal board for fucking hours
Yeah.
until he doesn't even have to like look at his hands or think about
I guess, yeah. Fuck.
Because I mean, he's already multitasking with the singing and shit, so he already has to play it to the point where like he can't fucking like doesn't have to
Right,
look down and
right.
shit. So it's probably just literally doesn't even think about it, just muscle memory.
Yeah, I want to kind of look into that more, because I think it would be cool to do like loop stuff, but at the same time, like, fuck, I would hate to have it train wreck a fucking set,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we
Fuck.
have 5 people.
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely be a you thing.
Yeah.
Even if it was something where I was looping a guitar part, I would want you to fucking do the loop part.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I don't trust my fucking, like, amount of fucking adrenaline in the moment to not fuck that up, dude.
Yeah.
I really wonder how bands go about that. Leave it in the fucking comments if you're, like, if somehow you're in a band that does this kind of shit and you end up watching this podcast. How the fuck do you do this shit, bro? Put me on, dude, because I don't understand.
Let me weed here.
Weave,
Wreath?
weave, like you're weaving a quilt.
Read.
All right.
Jesse was saying that Strawberry Fields Forever is his favorite song of all time. What would you guys say that your
I'm not
favorite
answering
song?
this question.
Okay.
I would say "Call Me Al" by Paul Simon.
Good fucking song.
I love.
I
that
love
song.
that
That
song.
was like.
Put a clip of that, because I don't even fucking know. Let me listen to this.
Chat, clip that.
It's the
You
one
haven't
with
heard that
Chevy
one?
Chase in the music video.
Yeah, it's like man walks down the street and it's a street in a strange world.
Okay,
Street in a-
yeah.
Maybe it's a third world.
Yeah.
Maybe it's his first time around.
That is not what I expected.
Wait, I
you
thought
to
that
say,
was You
dude.
Can Call Me
That
Out.
was one of
That's
my
what he said.
That was like one of my first favorite songs ever, bro. I
Wow.
fucking love Paul
What'd you
Simon.
think he
Just
said?
Paul Simon in general. Like I grew up
Incredible.
listening to a lot of Paul Simon, Edie Brickell. Like that was my shit.
Yeah.
My favorite song is You Can Call Me Out. Wait, I thought that was You Can Call
No,
Me Out.
dude, I swear to God he said something else. That just did not compute to me at all. My bad.
It's
Yeah.
not Paul Simon, but it is Simon and Garfunkel. So when I was my junior year in high school,
I thought it was Strawberry Fields. What the fuck?
well, no, this is a story.
Oh, okay.
My junior year in high school, I took a psychology class, and I was in there, and my teacher, I can't remember what his name was, but he was an older guy, and I was sitting next to this girl, and he was talking about something, and this was like the first fucking 2 or 3 minutes of the class. And he was talking about something going on and said something about Simon and Garfunkel, and she cut him off and was like, it said, "Who's Simon and Garfunkel?" And she didn't even finish her sentence, and he looked up from his computer and said, "You don't know who Simon and Garfunkel is?" And the rest of the hour class, we just did nothing but fucking watch Simon and Garfunkel. That's all we did.
And then
That's awesome as fuck.
anytime you wanted to stop, getting taught, that's all you got to do is just be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so tell me more about Simon and Garfunkel.
You ask the teacher what's their favorite band, and you say you've never heard of them, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. If you just want to waste the
shit.
rest of class.
That's so
Jake, what's
fucking
your
What's your
favorite
answer,
song of all
Jake?
time?
I can't pick a definitive favorite song of all time.
That's
but
an evil question to
But
ask,
my
bro.
favorite song by my favorite band is "Deja Vu" by Iron Maiden.
Okay.
Good choice.
Is that the one that
right
goes
there.
like, Deja Vu? You didn't enter space.
No,
Clip
actually.
it, clip it.
Okay.
Throw it in there for a couple seconds.
Fuck, what was I gonna say? They have never performed it live.
What's up with that?
Really?
It's just
I'm gonna take a piss.
it's just that much of a deep cut, I guess. I don't know. Little Iron Maiden lore. I know we're probably really gonna have to wrap this up here, but
We'll end it after this.
okay. Yeah, so this album they did Power Slave right before Somewhere in Time, and then the tour they did for Power Slave was so long they did like 220 shows.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Jesus
That's-
Christ.
Badass.
over the course of like 10 or 11 months or something like that. And Bruce Dickinson was like so burnt out that like number one, he almost quit music, and then when he decided not to, he was like, we should go in like maybe a little more acoustic-y direction. And Steve Harris was like, fuck that. And so Bruce Dickinson basically ended up not writing really anything for Somewhere in Time. And I feel like because of that, because like there wasn't really a whole lot of Bruce input on it, he himself hasn't really liked it. I'm just speculating at this point, but like they have not really ever paid much attention to that album since they released it and toured it, minus one song from like their whole live set.
What the that song?
What?
The Wasted Years. Right?
Yeah. They only do Wasted Years. They pretty much only do Wasted Years live. But yeah, they never really dug back into the deep cuts of that album until the tour they just did that I'm really happy I saw them on. But
And they didn't play Deja Vu.
no, they've never played
Bummer.
Deja Vu live. I think they've played every single other song off that album live by this point, but they've never played Deja Vu live.
Interesting.
Bummer, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been my
My-
favorite song since I was like 15. Sorry. Go ahead.
Hell yeah.
I'll try to answer this
Okay.
question, but you can go first. If you want.
I was gonna say, I don't know. I have a couple. Do You Realize by the Flaming Lips? I fucking love that song, and I think
don't
it's
think
like
I've never heard that one.
it's like one of the. It has some of the most beautiful and just simple lyrics of like. Do you realize you have the most beautiful face? Do you realize we're floating in space? Do you realize that everyone you ever know will die? and then the bridge.
Happy little number.
Yeah. No, but the bridge is like, you realize the sun won't go down. It's just an illusion caused by the world spinning round.
It's pretty cool.
That's hard.
Which is, yeah, really cute. That
Nice.
or Deborah by Beck.
Really?
Deborah by
Might
Breck
be a
is
What the
fucking sick.
fuck?
I fucking never get tired of that song.
That song's
I can
that
play
song
that
is
Great
an
song.
11 out of 10.
That song
There's
is...
weird
11
fucking
out of 10.
answers here, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I just would not have expected that.
I don't know. Other than that, I don't know. Those are just the ones off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, Black Diamond by Kiss, probably.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I was
Kiss,
expecting God of Thunder first.
so I think God of Thunder as a kid,
Yeah.
when I was really getting into Kiss, like that was definitely my favorite Kiss song, just for the image and the mystique and the kind of formation of that riff and how evil it sounds, you know.
Yeah.
But as I look back upon the Kiss discography, and especially the fucking I wish they fucking played that song on Kiss Alive. I don't think they played it on Kiss Alive.
Black Diamond.
Yeah, I don't think it's on Kiss Alive, is it?
Dude, rip.
Let me look. I'm a fucking poser again. Fucking completely exposing myself as a poser. Let me fuck Alive. Let me see. I don't think they did.
That's a
Oh,
bummer,
okay,
dude.
yeah, it is on Kiss Alive. Yeah, okay, yeah,
On
that's
Kiss Alive 1?
yeah,
I got
the
you.
original, the one that's on this fucking wheel of albums. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
especially the Kiss Alive version of Black Diamond. I didn't want to say that there was a fucking Kiss Alive version and be wrong, so I had to look that
No,
up.
I feel
before.
that.
But yeah, like that song is everything that's good about Kiss in one song, in
Yeah.
my opinion. Really, the whole album, honestly. I think a lot of people, they think about Kiss and they're like, oh, like they don't have a lot of good songs. I'm not really into Kiss
Yeah.
because whenever they look into Kiss and try to put on a Kiss album, it's like, oh, well, like there's one or two that are good, but all the rest of the shit sucks. dude.
Right.
But I think the where you must start is and end really is Kiss Alive,
Yeah.
and the other two are also good, but especially Kiss Alive 1, like that is Kiss. If you go and see Kiss live,
Yeah.
those songs and a couple of other ones from like newer ones, if they're like touring that album or whatever,
Yeah.
is what they play.
Right.
And that is Kiss. Like they have so much fucking filler in their albums, and a lot of Kiss songs suck. I will concede that, and I fucking agree. But yeah, that Kiss Alive is Kiss. And if you haven't, and hopefully you guys all haven't listened to that album before it comes up on the wheel, and don't listen to it if you haven't yet.
Yeah.
You got it.
But that album is Kiss. That's the Kiss I fucking know and love, you know? That's the Kiss that I've fucking seen live 3 times.
It's America's Kiss.
Yes. That's like, there's no fucking bullshit, like, you know, like trying to fucking sell out, you know, trying to concede to an audience songs. Yeah, that's fucking Kiss right there. And Black Diamond is definitely like, Kiss is my favorite band, and Black Diamond is probably my favorite song. So if I had to pick one, that would be it. But at the same time, it's like, dude, I fucking like, my favorite band changes every fucking week, dude. Like right now, it's probably Blood Incantation.
Yeah.
For sure. That band is fucking sick, and I'm so excited. This brings me to my next point here, boys. The next week's album, Time Wave Zero by Blood Incantation, the best fucking ambient record I've ever heard, dude. If you guys haven't listened to this yet, you're in for a treat because the shit's so fucking good.
Yeah, I already
You
listened
got
to
it.
it twice.
It's
dude.
so
It's
good.
It is really
I've
fucking
just listened to the parts that you've shown me.
Oh
so
my god,
It
dude.
is
I am-
fucking
It's-
I'm excited for it, honestly.
This, and I've been waiting to say this on the cast, dude. This record makes me feel like I'm an ape at the beginning of 2001: A Space Odyssey, staring at the fucking monolith.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this, dude? This is something else.
I
Hell
feel like
yeah.
this is an album you need to like kind of not be busy while listening to.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to focus your mind on this album. You need to sit down.
I would
And
not listen to
close-
this at work.
Yes. You need to close your eyes. You need to lay down, and you need to listen to this album all the way fucking through, dude.
Yeah.
And maybe you need to supplement your consciousness with the different things. You know, maybe that would help. Maybe that would help. But I'm not here to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's just my opinion. But anyway, Time Wave Zero, next week's album, dude. Fucking, if you're following along to this cast, dude, get ready, dude, because this shit is fucking so sick. This is my favorite album right now,
Yeah.
honestly. And I've been waiting.
I'm excited for it.
I was gonna do this album as the first fucking my album of the week, but
Yeah.
I wanted to do something that we'd all kind of, that would be
more
easier
accessible.
that would be easier to talk about because this is literally nothing.
Yeah.
Like musical fucking ambience, obviously.
Yeah.
So like it's probably gonna be a little tough to talk about, but I don't know, dude.
I
You
listened
don't
to
need
their
to say
new album
much.
again today too.
You did it.
Yeah.
So sick.
Good
bro.
shit.
I listened
Hell
to the what's the fucking Secrets of the Human Race?
Oh, Hidden History of the Human
Yeah,
Race.
I listened to that front to back today. Dude, that shit's so
I haven't
fucking
listened to that one yet.
Dude. And
It's actually one of the gnarliest album covers I think I've ever seen.
And like the beauty of this band is like kind of what we were talking about before we started the cast. Jesse was saying like we're trying to put together a bill for our release of Ascension, and like the thing that makes us cool as a band, not to be fucking pretentious, but
I love us. I think we're the coolest fucking people ever.
it's true.
There's
and you
5
have to
of
have
us.
There
confidence.
is nobody cooler than
You
us,
must
Tom.
have confidence as a band because what are we doing if we don't have fucking
Exactly.
confidence in
Yeah.
what we're doing?
Yeah.
How many
But-
5-piece bands do you see anymore?
True. Anyway, we fucking rule and we're better than you. But
Go back to the drawing board.
but the reason why I like this band is the same reason why I like being in our band is because we're not tied down to a specific sound. We're not tied down to a specific idea and a specific kind of scape. And this band is so fucking cool because they're like a brutal fucking death metal band, but in 2021 they released a fucking ambient record that's completely ambient, dude. And it pissed a lot of people off, but fuck it, because that's what their influences are.
People are fucking lame whenever like a band goes like in a different direction and
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, this is lame."
Go listen to
It's like,
Slayer,
fuck you.
dude. Go listen to fucking Slayer if
Yeah.
you want the same shit every time, dude.
Like I love when bands are, have the confidence to do something different.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
It's fun.
It's
and-
necessary.
And in
Yeah.
a way, as a band, as a creative person, dude, you have to the creative process has to reflect and feed into your drive to create in general. And I think doing something different every time and not just falling back on the same formula and expanding your horizons is like it's the most creative thing to do. And I think bands that kind of stick to a certain thing are just thinking too fucking hard, dude, and you're limiting yourself, and who knows what the fuck you would create
Bless
if you weren't so concerned about who it's for, dude.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck about who it's for? Because, bro, that any limitation on that shit is just like
If you're true to yourself,
Yeah.
and you're honest about the music you want to make, and you're expanding your horizons, and you're pushing the limit, people are gonna enjoy the journey with you.
And the thing is, more people will enjoy the journey than
Yeah.
would have otherwise.
Otherwise, you're
if
gonna
you stay in
stagnate.
that niche,
You're gonna stagnate. I mean, not everybody stagnates with it.
You have to be
But-
careful about this, though. You do have to be careful about this. That's why the band like Blood and Contention is so fucking cool, because and I've been ripping interview. Like, I've listened to every single fucking Blood and Contention interview. And, like, they had this vision from when they started this band in fucking 2015, dude. Like, they had their releases and what they kind of wanted to do as a band, like, mapped out almost. They started as a death metal band, but they always wanted to do an ambient record, and they always wanted to figure out a way to bridge the gap between 70s prog, ambient, Pink Floyd, and fucking death metal. And, it's the reason why I say you have to be careful about that is you have to, I don't know. There's different ways to do it. There's no right way to do it. But in a way, I think it's smart the way that they did it, because they laid out a sound first, and then they broke the mold of that every time.
Yeah.
They started from a cohesive point, and then every record, it gives you a little bit more of what they're really trying to do, and a little bit more. And that, if you approach it that way, I think it, because you do, to a certain extent, have to keep in mind the people who are listening. And if you lay it out that way and you bring them on the journey with you, then it keeps them engaged, and you're not blowing your load right away.
Yeah.
You're like, also for you, it gives you something to fucking look forward to, and something to to strive for creatively and something to fucking give you the itch to get back in the studio, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think in a way, and not that we're fucking a death metal band, obviously,
I thought we were a death metal band.
Wait, we're not a death
We're not a death metal band.
but it's this kind of
quits.
band is very similar to our band in the way of they're not tied down to a specific thing. They're not trying to stay on a specific formula. And there's not a lot of bands out there that are doing that shit, dude. I wish it was more fucking common, because that's the whole fucking creative process, dude.
Real
Like,
shit.
It has to be new. It has to be engaging, or else you're just gonna sit there and fall back on whatever you fucking know.
Yeah.
And what's the point? Everyone's fucking done everything already. There's 12 notes, you know? Now it's about combining different things that you wish were on a record that you could listen to.
Yeah.
You know? That's what I want to fucking strive for as a musician, to sit there and make records that, you know, you listen to a record and you're like, oh, fuck, I wish this specific part on this record was a little bit longer and expanded upon. As a musician, I want to take those parts and expand upon that in my own records, and take the little seeds of records that I fucking love, and oh fuck, I wish they made that part a little bit longer. Let's fucking do that, dude.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're fucking not doing anything revolutionary. Shit's already been done before, dude. We got born too fucking late in this shit, you know. But
Just
yeah,
be yourself.
yeah, and
just-
and lean into. It's okay if it's not fucking super original, but make it original in the way that the font that you present it in, or the fucking skin that you put on it. You know?
Yeah.
And that's all we can do now, dude.
Yeah.
I wish we were born 30 years ago, but it's too fucking late, dude. Shit's already been done before.
We're in the best time period to do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah,
So,
because you're not
whatever.
like expected to do something new, really.
Yeah. What was the name of the album again?
Time Wave Zero, a fucking beautiful Terrence McKenna fucking reference. I
Long
didn't.
ass name.
Was it
I said a long ass name.
Time Wave Zero? It's not that long.
No.
No, you said a
Time
whole
Wave
lot
Zero,
after
that.
Beautiful
You never said
Terrence
it was
McKenna reference is the album for next week. Time
yeah,
Wave Zero,
Time
Blood
Wave Zero.
Incantation.
Amazing fucking record. I'm so happy to dig
All
into
right.
that shit.
Anything else before we wrap up?
Be true to yourself. Don't miss your chance, and you won't end up like the fool who ripped his pants.
Jake, you said that you found the cure for cancer, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna wave with the flick of my wrist and the wave of my wand. Leaf, your dick is now gone.
Oh no!
That's crazy, because I was just about to say I have a boner.